Okay, I'm here to answer a quick question that I received in my inbox. So I decided while I was here at the church that I would come on and answer questions. So I'm just going to get right to it because it's about prophetic protocol. And so many times there's lots of confusion about prophetic protocol, what should happen, what shouldn't be happening, and why prophets have to submit in certain ways. So let me know where you're coming in from, and I will explain everything that needs to happen or why certain things have to happen in a certain way. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Let's see. All right, so here's what I'm going to say, or let me tell you the question. I got an inbox from someone. Hey there, Yvonne, is that it? Or Ivan, good to see you. Anyone else, if you want to say hi, just wave your hand at me, or I'm saying wave your hand. Hey Jennifer, good to have you. Yay, I'm so glad you caught me live as well. We love when you guys come on and say hi, so it's always good. I may not say hi immediately because I might be doing something, but I always come back and watch it. Hey there, Peaches, good to see you as well. Yeah, feel free to share, but this is going to be a quick one. I happen to be at the church, took the PAQ, Brian Carney, good. Don't forget, go take the PAQ, reference me, take it at amiaprophet.com, But let me get on to the question at hand. I got this inbox. Wisconsin, good to have you. Wisconsin, I see you, Nicole. South Carolina in the house. Good. All right, let me answer this question. Let me say this, and then I'll let y'all chat or say whatever. And you know what? We love when you do hearts as well, because that lets me know that you hear me and that you understand. But let me get right to the point. I had a prophet inbox me. I think he knew the answer, but his question was, what if I have a prophecy and I know the Spirit of the Lord is working through me? I'm releasing this prophetic word, and for whatever reason, the apostle tells me I can't do this, or the apostle doesn't give me the rein to do this. What am I supposed to do? Can that apostle really tell me not to release a word? Can that pastor really tell me not to release a word? And guess what I'm going to say? Yes. They can tell you not to do that, or they can give you parameters from when you are supposed to release a word, because it's their house. That's what we have to understand as prophets. Yes, we have prophetic voices. Yes, we hear from God. And 9 times out of 10, we hear from God in a different way than others hear from God. We know that we hear from God. We know that He's speaking. But the other thing that I've got to remind you as prophets and prophetic people, you've got to follow the prophetic protocol of the house. How dare you get up and think that you can just walk in anywhere and just give the word of the Lord if you haven't been invited to do so. Now, that's not to say that you are not hearing God. That's not to say that God is not speaking. But what that is to say is that God operates in decency and in order, and prophets have to follow protocol. We have to operate in decency and in order if we are to be thought of as credible, and if we really want the magnitude of our ministry to come forth. So you know what I do? Let me give you a tip, prophets. Before I walk into any building or any place, I say, God, if you want me to release a word, because I know I got one all the time, because I'm a prophet, I'm an apostle, I understand that. But God, if you want me to release a word, God, open up the door so that I can release the word to whoever you need me to release the word to. Open up the door so that I can release a corporate word if that's what you need me to do. Because God, I'm your vessel, and however you want to use me, I'm going to be used. But it's time for prophets of God to come and to rise to another level of maturity. Are you hearing me? We've got to be mature prophets of God. We've got to learn how to operate in decency and in order. And when we walk into a church, we've got to understand and know who's in charge, who's on first base, who's on second base, and who the coach is, and who's releasing us. And we can't come in, even if we are a household name, we cannot come in thinking, well, guess what? I know I can say anything, because you will be the first one to be shut down. Do you understand? understand, yes, we want the prophets to arise, but we want the prophets to arise in order and in decency. You know, I always heard that and love that saying, it's better to be called up front than to come up front and then push to the back. Are you hearing me? And so that is why it's so important that we as prophetic voices understand why prophetic protocol was created and why we need it, especially in this 21st century, because guess what? There are many people who are saying they're prophets and they're not. There are many people, prophetic voices, who are trying to operate on a high level, and they are not even saying the right thing. They're not even touching the heart of God. So because of that, we've got to be very careful of what we say, how we say it, and we've got to also make sure that we are willing to submit to protocol. All right? Because if you come in our house, guess what? Before you even release a word, you got to at least release it to our chief prophet so they can hear you and so that it can bear witness with them. All right? And if you're a prophet in training, my goodness, we need to be able to know that you have really heard the word. Now, let me talk to prophets really quick about this part. So then the guy went on to say, oh my goodness, you mean I got to stop? I'm saying, yes, you got to stop, because prophets, real prophets are like a waterfall. That water is always coming, or even like a faucet. That water is always coming out, but at any given time, we can turn it on or we can turn it off. But even if we turn it off, we know the flow is still there and still ready to go forward at the moment that we are turned on. And so if that means for us, that means at the moment that someone calls me up to the front, at that moment, I can turn it on because I'm a prophet of God and I have a word all of the time. I don't need the spirit of prophecy to come into the house for me to have to feel like I've gotten a word, because I speak to God daily and he releases revelation through me on a regular basis. So no matter what is happening, whether I'm on the highway, whether I'm on my road in my subdivision, whether I'm driving, guess what? God is always speaking to me. And at any moment when I walk into your church, when I walk into your marketplace business, guess what? I know what thus saith the Lord, because when I walk in, guess what happens? The spirit of the prophet shows up. When I walk in, the spirit of prophecy shows up. When I walk in, because I am that prophet and that prophetic vessel, I know that I always have something to release, but I also know that I have to follow and obey protocol, because that's the will of the Lord, because we have got to understand and submit to authority willingly. Ooh, I just said something. Isn't that good stuff? Thank you. We love the hearts. If you understand, if you agree, show me your love and let me know that you guys are out there. Hallelujah. And so again, I wanted to take the time to really just share that quick little thing, because I'm getting ready to go over to my prophetic inner circle. It's a private area where those who I mentor are, and every Thursday it's there. And I want to make sure that I come over here and answer this question really quick. So again, feel free to share this, or do me a favor and do share this. Get this out to all the prophets you know and let them know that prophetic protocol is operating in decency and in order, and we've got to be about our Father's business. As we arise, we still have to stay in order. All right? All right. Now, again, I'm getting ready to go to check in my other area, prophetic inner circle here on Facebook, where those that I mentor who are part of GICMP, that's where we are. If you want to join us, we would love to have you. All you have to do is go to propheticmentorship.com, propheticmentorship.com. That's where we mentor lots of folks. Good to see you, Hope and Rosalind. Great to have you. Truth be told, yes. Renee, is that Rashila Renee Roberts? Okay, I see you. All right. Glad to have you guys all. My pleasure, my pleasure. Again, it's always a pleasure to be able to do this. I will be back sometime later. But again, just wanted to share this little piece on prophetic protocol. You guys have a wonderful day. Go out there and make sure that you share this. And I love each and every one of you. God bless you.